in, it is time. So awesome. So we have, for the last several weeks, been focusing on ways to boost our immune system. We've talked about quite a gamut of things. We've talked about our lymphatic system and how the practice helps there. We've talked about our mind and how our immune system is always listening to our thoughts, so be careful what we think. We talked about the physical body, the Annamaya Kosha, and how food, what we put into our body, nutrition, has a major impact on our immune system, and also what we eat through our eyes and our ears. And then we talked about stress, and one of the perfect antidotes to stress is meditation and meditative practices like meditation and yoga. And so tonight we wrap this up with connection, and connection is supremely important for the health of our immune system. We are neurobiologically wired for connection. And if you think about in your life, anytime anything wonderful happened to you, or anytime something challenging happened to you, you wanted to reach out and tell someone. You wanted to connect. So it's innately built in us. It's a basic need. As humans, we are a social species, and we just really have a desire to connect. We're not meant to be isolated. So research shows that we do better both mentally and physically when we have connection. And so we want to really attend to this core value of connection. One thing to do is really take a moment to pause and ask yourself, if you take a look at your relationships, your close relationships, and where you're investing your time and your energy, and really pay attention to those relationships that strengthen you. I believe that we all desire deeper and more authentic connections. Maybe it's one with yourself. Maybe you desire a deeper connection with your creator. Maybe it's with a loved one. Or maybe it's just to the moment we desire a deeper connection. And then I think right now, a lot of people are actually desiring a deeper connection with humanity, with more commonality and less division. And it's interesting, even with this deep desire to connect, we so often disconnect, don't we? We disconnect. We don't intentionally do it, but we might get busy or stressed, or we get hurt or closed down, and we might get stuck in limited feelings, or we start to feel separate from other people, and then we disconnect, and we start to then shut ourselves down from other amazing, wonderful emotions like compassion and kindness and love. So it's important for us to find ways to stay connected to ourselves, to others. And one way to keep that line of connection open is to spend a little bit of time every day, in a little bit of our valuable time, connecting with ourselves through yoga or meditation. And here we are tonight to do that practice. So I'm going to just have us center right here. I'm going to stay here, and then I'll meet you back on the mat for the practice. So let's just take a moment to close our eyes and go inside and connect. And as you close your eyes, just know that this process automatically begins. Take away external distractions. You might still hear sounds, but at least the sense of sight, we tuck it away for a little bit. And then just start to move right into your breath. The breath connects the mind to the body. Start to breathe in nice and slow. I have some aromatherapy going this evening, so as I breathe in, I'm getting a big whiff of lemongrass. Breathing out slowly. And the body, in its innate wisdom, already knows that you have this desire to be more present, to be more aware, and to more deeply connect to yourself. Feeling your breath for a few more moments, recognizing it as the life force inside of you. breath by breath, coming home to yourself. And then please join the hands together in front of the heart. Take a moment to bow, honoring this time and grateful for this opportunity to come home to yourself. Really show up with a sense of reverence and honoring this practice that you've carved out the time. And then we ask for goodness and grace to support us in our practice. And as you are ready, begin to release your hands, lift your head, and let the eyes come on open. So we shall begin. Please come onto your mat into a hands and knees position, all fours. I'll meet you back on my mat there, and we shall move and groove. So once you arrive in your hands and knees position, start to move your body in a circular pattern. So circle, nice and slow, beginning to sync the breath up. I'm going to do a lot of circular patterns this evening. I think of connection, I think of circles, unity. Begin to reverse your circle in the opposite direction. Ujjayi breath, if you know it, a little deeper, more focused sound breath. Not overthinking here, just moving organically. And pausing in the place of the middle. Take your left arm and cross it underneath for thread the needle, coming down onto your left shoulder, left side of the head. Receive a full breath into your lungs. And release it out slowly. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale as you arrive. Right arm passes through. Come down onto the right side of your head, right shoulder. Deep breath in. Empty it completely. Inhale, come all the way up. Place the hands in front of your shoulders, everyone, and curl your toes under. Lift your hips on up to downward facing dog. And start to pedal the knees, walk the legs out. And then lowering the knees on down, open them, coming to your first child's pose. So make a pillow for your forehead. So stack the hands and give your forehead a little support. And then drop into the breath here for a few moments. What I want you to recognize or notice here within the breath is the circular pattern of the breath. So feeling an inhalation and how it segues and connects right into the exhale. And at the end of the exhale, it connects right back into the inhale. So start to notice that circular pattern within you. One more full breath, paying close attention. And then when have you completed the exhale, lift on up, take your arms out and come back to all fours position. From here, lift your right leg up straight out to the side and circle it down and around. So we're going to do several of these. So circle the hip, open out. So the knee comes forward, out, back, and down. Forward, out, back, and down. One more. Forward, out to the side, back, and down. Let's do the other side very fluidly. So bring the knee forward slightly out to the side, back and down. You're just making a circular pattern here and down. Keep going. One more time. And release. Good. Take your hands forward again. Lift up to downward facing dog. And then lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Just extend it long. Just warm it up here. And bend the knee, the right knee, and then take the knee towards your nose. As you shift forward towards a little plank, round your upper back, knee towards nose. And then push the legs straight back and up again. Reach it high. Feel what's happening in the left leg. Push the left hip back a little. And lower your right foot on down. Inhale, lift the left leg up, extend it long. Support it with breath. Bring the knee towards the nose as you shift slightly forward, rounding through the back. And then extend it back up. Pause here. Coax the right hip back a little. Draw the ribs gently up into the body. And then please lower your left foot down. Step your right leg on forward up between your hands and pause here. We're going to start some circular patterns now with the arm. So take your right arm and extend it up towards the ceiling in a twist. Hug your feet and legs towards each other, keep it strong. And then very slowly start to take it over your ear. Now, as it goes across your face, round your back like a cat. The arm continues to circle down, back past your hip, all the way back up to where you started. You got one more time with the breath now. Inhale as the arm goes down. Exhale it back through. Circle it down, touch the ground. Step on back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here for 2 slow breaths, connecting inhale to exhale. Exhale to inhale. Now, the end of your second breath, step your left leg on up to deep lunge. Pause for a moment, hug your feet and shins in so we have a stable base. And then take your left arm towards the ceiling. Just reach it high at first. And we're going to connect to breath right away this time. So inhale the arm over. Exhale as you round and take it on through. Inhale the arm up and over. Exhale back. One more circle. Exhale back. Ending at the top. And slowly touch down to the ground. Please step forward now, coming on up to the front of your mat. Place the feet as you know to do. Bend your knees quite a bit, everyone, and let your chest rest on your thighs for a moment. Then bring the hands onto your hips. Circle the arm bones, the shoulders up onto your back, and then keeping that slowly come up to standing Tadasana position. Come to the center of your mat and bring the hands together in front of you. Press your palms firmly together. I notice my head's cut off there. Press your palms firmly together. And then I'm going to turn sideways here. Bring your attention to your upper back. Round your upper back. Draw your chin towards your chest. And then from here, you're going to lift your head. Stretch your arms above you. Reach high. Feel your ribs pull up. And then very slowly circle, and as you do, lift your gaze slightly, lift your chest, and let the arms come all the way down. Hands back together in front. Firmly press hand to hand, elbows push out, and then just take your sternum back, round your upper back here. Chin draws down. So feel the shoulder blades dividing, pulling away from one another as you stretch the upper back. And then stand tall, stretch up, reach high, pull your ribs up out of your hips. And now lift your chest until your shoulder blades come onto your back, merging towards each other. as you circle down. Awesome. Hands come to the center. From here, bend your knees, have a seat. We're gonna just do a brief check-in with the hips here. So stand on your right leg, cross your left ankle. And we're not gonna go deep yet. I just want you to just do a crisscross here. Do the figure 4, and then bring it on down. Bend the knees again, and now stand on your left leg, cross your right leg, pause there. Awesome. Stand on your right leg, inhale, stretch up, exhale, forward fold, make your way down. 3 half lifts now, pranam, inhale, extend, exhale, bow. Inhale, stay connected to the breath. Exhale, bow. And last one. So easy to get disconnected, right? Our brains, our minds pull us in so many directions. But in yoga, again and again, we invite our mind to come back to what we're doing, how we're feeling, even noticing how we're thinking, how the mind gets pulled away. So from here, separate your feet a little bit wider and then bring your bottom down. See where your knees allow you to go. If you can go all the way to Malasana, go there. If not, you can come right here. I always give this option, still get some good benefit from this. Bring your hands together as we did standing and draw your chin towards your chest as you round your upper back. Breathe into the deepest part of your belly. Even notice the breath filling into your back ribs. And now from here, begin to lift your gaze, lift your head, stretch your arms out in front of you, come all the way up to standing, and then do that circle where your shoulder blades come on to your back and slowly release your hands down. Fantastic. Come to the front of your mat. We'll flow through a couple salutations with some balance poses inside of them. So let's just dive right in, deeply meet up and connect with yourself. So hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, maybe a little arch back. Exhale, slowly forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, extend, really press your pelvis and thighs back. On an exhale, bow deeper. Stepping your right leg back to a lunge and pause. Bring your left hand up to the ceiling as we did before. Squeeze the legs in. And then inhale, reach higher. Exhale, circle down. A little faster, all the way back up. Circle down and touch the ground. Step back to a plank pose. Hold in plank. Pressing the floor away. Squeeze your inner feet towards each other. Your inner legs. Feel strong, awakening deep in the abdominal walls. And super strong arms. So you can always lower your knees, as you know. Take a deep breath in, my friends. Exhale, lower down slowly, cultivating some strength. And then hands to funky cobra. Inhale, rise. And on your exhale, slowly release. Adjusting the hands to press back now to downward facing dog. Put a slight bend in both knees. Lift and spread your pinky toes so they're going to lift off the floor a little bit. I'm watching my feet. You can watch yours too. So you're rolling more to the big toe side of your feet. Your pinky toes are trying to lift. Keep the pinky toes lifting and try to broaden your knees and all the way up to your inner thighs. Try to broaden. Pinky toes are still lifting away from the mat. Broadening from your knees to your inner thighs. Press your pelvis higher, lumbar curve. And now from here, step your right leg forward, pause. Take your right arm up in a twist and pause. And then inhale, stretch higher. Exhale for a full circle. And back down to the ground. Step forward, everyone. Bow deeply. Hands to the hips, shoulder blades snug on the back. Inhale, come to standing. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. This is where you may want to have a block in front of you or a wall nearby. So we balance deeper in standing baby cradle. So press your pelvis back. Standing on your right leg, cross your left ankle over. So you can hold a wall. You can stay right here. You could reach down to a block or the floor. Let's get a little more intimate with your hip here. What's going on in there? How you doing? Deep connection. Ooh la la. So your left leg should be crossed over. And now standing back up, place the left foot on the ground. Bend again into a chair pose. Shift onto the left leg. Cross the right ankle over. Again, place a hand on the wall or stay right here, or come down, touch a block or the floor, or a window ledge if you have one nearby like I do. A little window ledge would be handy. Push your seat back. One more breath here. And then standing back up, place your foot on the floor. Tadasana. Take a moment to feel right here. Just feel the connection in the soles of your feet. Slight bend in your knees. Tops of your thighs move back. Engage the abdomen. Shoulder blades roll onto the back. Long neck lengthening up through the back of the skull. And inhale, reach the arms on top of that. All the pieces of your body are connected. It feels so good. Exhale, forward fold, coming on down. Inhale, pranam, extend. Exhale, bow. Stepping the right leg back, lower the knee down to the mat, and then take your right hand and move it over to the right a little bit. I'm up on my fingertips, but you can do knuckles or flat hand, whatever feels good for you. And then start to put your left hand on your left knee, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, and then begin to turn and look up. Just turn here. Yeah. Then extend the left arm forward and up, reach high. And as you circle it back, go really slow and look back at your hand. Look back wherever your hand's at. Open your chest. And then slowly come back down, facing forward, touch the ground. Good. Step back, plank pose. Hold in plank. Let's clap our feet together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good job. Lower all the way down. That was only for the very advanced, right? Lift your shoulders up, or for the crazies like me. Exhale, lower, back, down. Toes under, here we go. Back to downward facing dog, hips high. Take 3 breaths here to more deeply check in. Strong legs hugging in. Tilt of the pelvis for a sweet lumbar curve. An integration through the core as you draw the back ribs up towards the ceiling. Stability in your arms as you hug your forearms towards each other. Awesome. Step your right leg forward. Lower the back knee, pause. Hug the legs into the middle, and then take the arm forward. Pause at the top. Actually, we started here last time, didn't we? Put the hand on the knee, squeeze in, and now turn. Something wasn't feeling quite like the other side. And now from here, take the arm forward, bring it up. And as it goes back, follow the hand with your gaze, really opening through the chest, the front of the shoulder here. And then swoop it on down. Swoop, there it is. Come back to the floor. Lift the back leg, step forward, forward bend. Draw up through the abdomen. Bring the hands to your hips. Lift your shoulders and rise. Awesome. Step your feet wide now. Just checking to make sure I'm still connected. We're still connected, yay. Okay. Step wide. And then bring your hands together in front of you. Open your elbows out. We did this earlier. So firmly press in. You should feel your pectoral, your chest muscles enliven here as you press firmly together. Then take your sternum back and really round your upper back as your chin draws down. I just felt my upper back go crack, crack all the way down. And now from here, lift up again like we did earlier. You're gonna circle down and feel your shoulder blades. I like to bend my elbows a little because I can get the shoulder blades on the back and lift the chest. And then let the hands drift down behind you this time and interlace your fingers. Now, if you'd prefer a belt, grab a belt here so you go deeper into your shoulders. So roll the arm bones back, slightly lift your sternum, and then strong, steady legs as you start to bend forward. Again, you can place a belt in your hands if that's helpful. Try to move your head now. Just move the neck and head in a random pattern. Doesn't have to be a circle, but just around in different directions. Releasing the neck, the head. Maybe bobble it back and forth. You can use your hair to brush and clean your mat off. Oh, it feels so good. Now bend your knees, my friends. Bend your knees. Maybe your head gets closer to the floor. Release your hands and sweep them out in front of you like down dog. Please keep your knees bent. Your arms are long, extended like dog, and on the tips of your fingers. Squeeze your legs towards each other, keeping that. Push your upper thighs back and apart. Ooh, try to widen your upper inner thighs apart. And now walk your hands back. Pivot, you're gonna walk to the right a little bit and just turn your right foot all the way out. Turn the right foot all the way out. Bend into the knee. Walk your hands now to the diagonal extend. Head bows down. Hips keep rising. And you keep breathing, my friends. Breathe. Now continue the journey to your right. Walk your hands back a little bit, turning into a deep lunge. And then from here, you'll just need to adjust your back foot perhaps to find stability to come upright into this position, to crescent legs. Hold a wall if you need to. Hands can come onto the hips for right now. Squeeze your feet and shins and inner thighs towards the middle. So we always want that. That is a strong connection right there, right? So the foundation needs to be super connected so that we have freedom and mobility up above that. From here, push your hands forward like you're pushing into a brick wall and draw your chin down till your ribs move back. Can you keep that connection in your abdomen? Feel the strength and the connection there. As you float your arms up now above you, try your best not to let your ribs jet forward and just stretch up, keeping a nice awareness through the abdomen. Breathing deep. Feel your strength. We are stronger when we are connected and feeling a sense of unity. Exhale, release back down. Pivot now back to the center. Feet are straight ahead. We're going to power up our legs, swing the arms out and rise. Come all the way up, reach your arms above your head. Bring the hands to the heart center. Round your upper back again. Draw your chin down. Feel the shoulder blades move away from one another. And then stretch your arms up, reach high. Start to open and circle, bend your elbows a little, shoulder blades on your back, lifting on up. And then interlace the hands once again behind you, or use your belt. Shoulders roll back, strong legs, forward fold. Release tension from the neck. Let your head move around. You might even move your arms side to side gently. Notice how good it feels to take this time for yourself, to put the pieces of you back together. Release your hands, everyone. Bend your knees simultaneously. Bend your knees. Sweep your arms out in front of you again like a down dog. Knees are bent substantially. Press your upper groins, your inner thighs back, and try to create a lumbar curve. If you had a tail, try to stick your tail up towards the ceiling. Good. Keep that. And then walk your hands. We're going to start to turn to your left. Turn your left foot all the way out. Walk out to the diagonal here. So the upper body feels like down dog. The legs feel like warrior two or deep lunge. Let your head bow. Filling up your back waistline with your deep breath. And then very slowly continue walking to your left. So walk your hands in, turn your torso. We're getting ready for crescent pose here. So you might move your back foot to the right a little, make your way on up, find some stability, not just through the shape, but through the actions that govern the shape, right? So squeeze the feet and shins in, and then keeping that, you might even try to make a little bit of a lumbar curve here so we're not tucking under. I feel my tendency to tuck. Engage. Now push forward with your arms like you're really pressing into something, and feel how you get really connected here and full in your back body. So some of that's going to dissipate, but see if you can keep an awareness there as you float your arms up. Keep an awareness there. Awesome. Stretching up, lunging deep. How you doing out there? And now from here, I'm going to slowly float on down, touch the mat, and walk back to the center. So come back to both feet forward. Let your head release, let your spine release. And pause here. Think of this as a child's pose, standing child's pose for now. Then start to wiggle your feet in, heel, toe. Nice and slow, heel, toe. Don't come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Pause there. And let's roll up through your spine this time. Let your arms dangle and start to stack your vertebra slowly as you roll all the way up. Yay. All right, so let's grab a block, if you would please. And I just think the block would be beneficial for us all. Block, and if you don't have a block, or another option, if you don't want to go down that far, is you'll just be holding the wall and crossing over. Okay, so wall with two hands or block with one, and you can do all of this either way. Okay, so bend the knees. So we're going into, you all know my philosophy on yoga is that we can just do shapes and they're lovely and they're fine, but I'm more interested in the actions within the shapes because I want to build strength and I want to create safety as we move through all these postures. So that being said, you know where we're going. We're going to really focus on the actions within a very simple posture. So feet straight ahead. You're going to just for a moment lift and flare your toes, and then while they're wide, let them lengthen back down to the mat. Feel how your arches may have lifted. Mine did. Hopefully yours did. And now hug your feet and your shins towards each other. You could even put this block here to wake them up. I still like to do this once in a while. I just squeeze in on the block and feel the power that you can access when you do that, right? So it's really getting strong through here. Keep that awareness. You can put your block back out here to the right and keep hugging the legs in. And now if you had a monkey tail, someone's pulling your tail back and up slightly. So you get just a hint of a lumbar curve here. Don't overdo it. And then engage your abdomen. Just make it sweet, not a sucking in, but just a sweet drawing in. Now, shift your weight to your left foot and pick up the right leg and cross it over. And you can reach down, right hand on the block, or again, both hands could be on the wall. So in that transition, we lost everything, which is fine, but let's find it again. So put your free hand on your foot, press your foot into your hand, but respond back by pushing your hand back. So the two are mutually pressing here. That's going to help us find that hugging in action. Keeping that, maintaining that. My new teachers out there, push your thighs back like you have a monkey tail, back and up, back and up. Good, keep that, and then draw your ribs up into your body sweetly, and then lengthen out through the crown of your head, and imagine someone still pulling your monkey tail back. Whew. I don't know about you, but that's a deep nuclear stretch, deep in the hip. All right, and stand. Oh, and then let's just circle it out. Circle. You get a little balance here. Look, it's over the block. Circle, circle. We're running hurdles over the block. Circle. Keep going. Knock yourself out. Okay, enough of that. That's really good for you though. Switch sides. Bring your block over to the left and come back here. So we're going to cross the left ankle over and then find those actions. Hold your block with your left hand or hold the wall, and then put the right hand right here on the ball of your foot. You're going to flex this foot and then start to push your foot into your hand, but respond by pushing your hand back. So the two are pressing together mutually. Now from here, press your seat back. Someone's pulling your tail back and up, back and up. Give your spine support from the front by engaging your abdomen. And then someone's pulling you in two directions, from your waistline back through your tail and up through the top of your head. You're getting traction in two opposite directions. Whew. Remember to breathe. And let's release and stand up. Here comes some leg circles. So you're going to balance on your right leg. Just lift up and circle. It's okay to hold something if you need to for balance. Circle it out. Challenge the stability of your right leg by being mobile with your left. Oh, you can use your arms. You might be falling over. That's okay. Laugh at yourself and come back up. All right. Good job, my children. Let's come to the front of your mat again. And in this position, coming into chair pose where we're going to lift our heels. So swing your arms forward, have a nice deep seat, pop your heels up. That's always an option. You can stay high. If your knees allow, go low. Either way, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2. Start to stretch up, reach towards the ceiling, balance on the balls of the feet. And then hands come to the heart center, heels down. Inhale up, circle the arms out to the side as you come forward. Pranam, extend your heart. Exhale, bow. Stepping the right leg back, pause. You might want 2 blocks here as we go into pyramid pose, so you could put them on either side of your front ankle if you prefer. So know that that is a definite option. Lift your pelvis super duper high so that you can straighten both legs. And then just a tiny bit, steer your right hip forward, your right hip bone here slightly forward. Press your thighs and pelvis back while you extend your spine long, looking out. Even here, my friends, squeeze your feet, your shins towards the middle, and then imagine someone pulling your monkey tail, just a little tug back and a little tug up. Nice. We're going to go into the famous humble pose now. So lower your back knee down to the mat. You can always grab a block, put it on high setting, medium or low, you choose, and come down onto your right elbow. Place the left hand on the left knee, and then just twist and look up. Connect to your breath. And turning back to center. Make your way up. Step back, downward facing dog. Tiny bend in the knees to give you freedom to press the thighs back, to lift the tail up. Draw the ribs gently up into the body and lengthen your spine in 2 directions, up and out through your tail and down through your head. Lowering to child's pose. Let the knees come down, toes touch. Sitting back, arms are yogi's choice to see what arms feel right for you. And then lifting back on up now to downward facing dog. We'll prepare to go back to pyramid or Parsvottanasana. Step your right foot forward, use your blocks if they're handy, and lift your pelvis. Just hike your pelvis up all the way. Steer the left frontal hip bone forward a little. And then gently guide your thighs back. They're not really moving a lot, but the action is that you're pressing the pelvis and thighs back. Lengthen long through your spine. Notice the moments, the multiple moments where we might find ourselves disconnecting, thinking about other things that we need to do. We just smile, we become aware of this, and we guide our attention back. What's happening now? From here, we'll go to humble pose. So let your back knee come down, arms on the inside. Find your block if that helps you, and make your way to your left. Look back at the top of your left thigh. If it's drooping down to the floor, like if you feel your thigh pressing down to the floor, see if you can back it off. You can lift your pelvis a little and back it off, especially if you have been doing yoga a long time, and if you plan on continuing doing yoga, we need to watch that we're not dropping in those spaces. There's a lot of research out about yogis getting hip replacements because they keep dropping the thigh and they wear out the front of the hip joint. So make sure you don't just hang there. Lifting yourself back up, and hand comes around, lift your back leg, step forward, and swing your arms on up, hands to the heart. Pause in Tadasana, invite your eyes to close and go to that place of feeling. Notice if one foot has more weight in it. You feel your body listing to one side. It's really honing your awareness. Notice if your knees are locked out. Can you put just a softness in both knees? Notice if your thigh bones are pressing forward. Can you take the tops of your thighs back so you feel your bottom move back in space? And you get this nice, more natural lumbar curve. You put a tiny little engagement in your abdominals. Just activate your core. You lengthen up through the top of your head. And then keeping all of that beautiful alignment, let your arms rest at your sides, palms facing your body. And then just be aware of the head of your arm bone, your shoulder. You gently draw your shoulder blades on your back more to draw the arms where they belong on the sides of the body. And lastly, can you lengthen up through the back of your neck, through the top of your head. And just feel. When we are lined up this way, the prana, the life force energy moves more freely. All of the systems of the body, the circulatory system, digestive system, everything works better when we are lined up. And then take a moment to let your eyes float open. And I'm going to invite you to come downward onto your left side. Left side. And can y'all see me still? I can't see. I have to look up and see if I'm even in the camera. So on your left side, put your right hand out in front of you for a little assistance for a moment. And then right here through your bottom ribs, lift your bottom ribs up. So you have to press strong through your left elbow. And then from here, fold your right leg behind you, like you're gonna kick yourself in the bottom. Bring your right hand back and just draw the heel towards your bottom there. Our focus, of course, is the quadricep here. And we're gonna slowly, you can stay right here. So this would be a good option to, if you're feeling plenty of sensation, or if you're having difficulty catching your foot, I'd stay right here. Another option might be to slowly roll to your stomach, keeping your knees somewhat close to one another. You can roll here, but keep pressing the floor away. Keep the ribs gently drawn up into the body. Roll the right shoulder back. And firmly press your thigh, your top of your right thigh down into the mat. From here, good news is we're going to a mountain climber. So release your foot. Bring your right leg off to the side, as you know, mountain climber, and then come down and stack your hands under your forehead or your forearms under your forehead, whatever works. And then just let yourself rest here for a moment. Face down, belly down. The gravity-assisted posture here, opening the inner rim of the hip, the inner thigh region. One more smooth breath here. And then lifting your torso upright, come onto your forearms and bring your leg down. So you're on your tummies now, facing down. Keep your knees on the ground, but curl your toes under. Elbows under your shoulders. And then lift, bow first, look inside towards your heart. And then feel your ribs draw back into your body automatically. Lift your thighs and pelvis, but keep your knees down. And now simultaneously, try to draw your elbows back towards your knees and draw your knees towards your elbows. Elbows towards knees, knees towards elbows. Feel a deep awakening, almost a sense of enlightenment, right? In your core. Holding here, breathing and smiling. Deep connection. And now release yourself on down. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. Please lay on your right side. We'll start off with the Bakasana quad stretch. So bring your left leg on up. Lift up through your bottom ribs. You might choose to stay here, or you might explore the second option of rolling oh so slowly, trying to keep the knees near one another. Notice the difference in sides. And remember our intention here in the name of connection. So let your mind drop into the breath or any signals that your body may be sending you. Maybe you need to back off a little, or maybe it's saying it's okay to explore deeper. Keep the ribs drawing back up into the body. One more breath. And we'll move now into mountain climber. So you can release the leg, bring the knee off to the side, let the foot, the inner edge of the foot move down, and then come down and stack the hands under your forehead. Just feel the abdomen connecting to the floor beneath you. Let it be so soft and relaxed. And now lifting on up, as we did on the first side, come onto your elbows, forearms, bring the leg down, curl the toes under. Start to bow. As you bow, feel the fullness of your back. So your ribs move into the back plane. And then lift your thighs and your pelvis. Knees are still down. Draw the elbows back and the knees forward at the same time. I like to just look down at the floor so I have a long neck. Drawing the elbows back, knees forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. Time to flip over now, children. Flip over and come onto your forearms. Thinking of our circles again, circular pattern. So bring your legs on up into this tabletop position. So again, giving you options here. So this is going to be option 1, and there'll be 2 and 3 yet coming. You can always come back to this one. So just start to bicycle. So right leg extends, makes a circle, comes back. I think we all know how to ride a bike, but really accentuate the extension of your leg. So it's not this knees bent, it's like reach, reach. So if you're staying in this position, focus on the reach of the leg. That's going to give you a little more work and build strength in your abdomen. Okay, so the reaching is important. Now, if you're going on, so you can pause, everyone, and you can go back to that one, or you come down onto your back. Option 2 is to slightly lift your torso off the floor while you bicycle the legs. Okay, so option one, you might want to stay there, do the slow extensions. Option two is lift the legs, flex the feet, lift the head, shoulders, and arms. And then you start the circle, bicycle, bicycle. Okay, wherever maybe you're still up on your forearms, you're liking that extended variation, or maybe you're here in this more circular pattern. Whew, try to talk and do this at the same time. Good, and then release your head down. Squeeze your legs, everyone, into your chest. Pause, lift your bottom up off the floor, slight bit. Now, another playful option. We're gonna reverse the pedaling of the bike, lift the head and shoulders. And so you're gonna start to bring your right knee towards you and just circle backwards. You're gonna think of circling back. It is kind of a forward action too, but just think in your mind, going backwards, going backwards. Yeah. Head and shoulders are lifting. Good, and then bring your knees into your chest, relax your head. So at this point, you might say, I'm done with those things. I think I'll go into a twist. Or you might say, heck, I want one more variation and I'll give that to you. Or pick any of the variations so far for one more set. This one is a bicycle up to a boat, going forward with your legs and going backwards with your pedal as you come down. So follow along. I know we've done this before. So you start to pedal your legs and pedal yourself up into a boat pose, going forward. And now reverse your legs, go backwards as you slowly come back down. Reverse, go again if you're doing this option. Ooh, oof, oof, we gotta get all the way up there. There you go. And then reverse, going down, going down, going down, going down, going down, knees to the chest. Place the feet on the floor and take a big old pause with a capital P, pause. Take a big old breath with a capital B, breathe. And bring your knees into your chest and roll to your right side and come up to a seated position. In the seated position, place your feet out in front of you and just bring the hands on the front of your shins, please. Starting to wind down here now. Inhale, lengthen up into a cow pose, a nice arch in the back, and exhale, round into cat. And lifting back up again. And exhale, rounding. One more time. And exhale, round. And coming back to center, come up onto the heels and then bring your right hand onto your right thigh for a push. Bring the left arm across to the little toe side of your foot, or maybe the outside of your shin, whatever you can hold on to. And then the most important part here is you need to scoop your body out and really round. So holding on to something, pull back with your torso as you draw your chin down. And focus on a slow breath here. Maybe even try to lift your left armpit up a little as you press your back towards the space behind you. So you're really rounding like a cat. And then coming back up, we'll do the other side. Left hand on the left thigh, right arm across, hold on somewhere. And then the action that's most important is what happens in the spine. You're pulling back, pulling back. Left hand is pushing on the thigh. Nice deep release underneath the scapula. Hopefully you feel some sensation on your upper right back. And then lifting on up. Finally, take the hands behind you and turn the fingers slightly out, please. Roll your shoulders back, lift the chest slightly, and just pause. This might be the position that feels best for you. Especially if you have a shoulder injury and you don't want to weight bear any more than this, I would just stay right here. You could step your feet out a little bit, and you could lift your bottom, shoulders back. You could lift your bottom a little bit more, shoulders back. See what feels right for you. You can go into reverse tabletop if you'd like. Careful not to drop the head back, but you could look up or look down towards your knees. Awesome. And then keep the shoulders back as you lower your pelvis all the way down. Fantastic. And then bring your legs out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. Reach your arms towards the ceiling and reach over towards your feet, your shins, your legs, whatever accessible. Just take a bow. Honor yourself. Taking this time to have a deep, authentic connection with your body, your mind, your soul. And maybe contemplate in your life, what relationships, what connections do you have that really nourish you or strengthen you? Maybe you want to spend more time with those people, those relationships. And then slowly come back up. Before we go into our final pose, I just want to share on that note something that was really helpful for me that I learned from my dear friend Aviana. And we talked about this on a retreat one year when we talked about connection and relationships. And if you picture 3 circles, so a little circle, a bigger circle, and a bigger circle. And this was a helpful concept. So I think of the middle circle as the VIP circle. And that circle is priority. Like for me, it's myself, taking care of myself, and the larger power of my understanding. And every day I need to make sure that I have connection with those 2 things, my higher self and my other higher self. And then the next circle outside of that would be called like the general admission. And those are the people that are really important to, well, and as we back up, in the VIP circle, you can also put like your best, closest friends and close family members, but not all family members perhaps, and not all friends. So that's in the VIP. Then there's the general admission, and that's closer friends that maybe you don't share everything with, maybe the relationships aren't as deep. And then outside of that, and the third circle is like stadium seating, and that's everyone else in humanity, everyone else that you have to connect with, that you interact with. So you might just take a moment to think about, who is in my VIP circle other than myself, perhaps my higher power? Who else has the power to be in that circle that nourishes me, that helps me grow as a person and supports me? So I'm going to ask you to come onto your back into Shavasana, and we'll take a few moments here. And maybe it's a time where you just let your mind completely run free range the mind. Or you might be thinking about that VIP circle. Who's in my circle? Feel the weight of your limbs, your legs and your arms, and give them a permission slip to release any holding, any pattern of tension. And then notice if your low back is flattened to the floor. See if it's possible to lift your chest a little to allow for a slight little space under your low back. And then relax your jaw by opening your teeth slightly apart. Just take the next couple minutes basking in stillness. Continuing to feel your natural breath present. Awareness to the center of your chest, to the heart region. And for this last minute, just picture or sense the breath moving into the heart space and out from the heart space. Breathing into the heart, extending the breath out from the heart. This enlivens our heart's intelligence. We want to tap into the wisdom of our heart when it comes to connection. It usually guides us. It says, connect to this person more, or this situation more, and connect to this person less, perhaps. Awareness now to your hands and feet. And start a gentle movement when you're ready. Beginning to move your legs, bending your knees, and drawing the knees towards your chest. Roll to your right side as you're ready. And take your time, make your way up to your seat, please. When you arrive in your seat, find a nice posture. Sit on a blanket if you need to. And lengthen your spine. Let your eyes close. Feeling the connection to yourself that you've strengthened just by paying attention, by showing up to your practice. But also take a moment to feel an energetic connection with your fellow yogis. We aren't in the same room, but we are energetically connected through the cyberspace and through our intention. And join the hands together in front of your heart center. And as we bow, we offer the blessing for ourselves and all of humanity. May we all be happy. May we all be free from suffering. Bowing to the light in each of you with so much gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. As always, appreciate it. And love to see you join for the next session. If it works out, you can still register online or by check, by good old-fashioned check if you want. And if anyone's interested in joining the meditation 4-week program online, it starts tomorrow night, and you still have a few hours yet tonight to sign up if you're interested. So love y'all. Mwah. Thanks for being